If there's one thing that's clear from the Ukraine war, it's that drones are both the present and future of warfare. Both Russia and Ukraine have used unmanned vehicles in the air, on the ground and at sea to cause serious damage to one another. The rest of Europe is taking that as a warning. They need to expand their drone arsenals in case Russian President Vladimir Putin is successful in Ukraine and decides to turn his attention elsewhere. Poland is more serious about this prospect than most. That's why it's building a secret drone army that's about to explode in size thanks to a new deal it's made with South Korea. Putin is furious, and soon he'll be dealing with a Poland that can unleash a horde of 1,000 cutting-edge kamikaze drones against anybody who threatens the country. On May 15, Militani reported that the Polish Arms Agency had signed a framework agreement with the WB group of manufacturers to purchase a massive 1,000 of WB's Warmate loitering munitions. Those drones will be disseminated throughout the Polish military, along with 10,000 rounds of ammunition Poland is buying from the same company. This isn't an immediate deal. The drones will be provided in a steady stream between now and 2035, representing a consistent increase in the size and strength of Poland's unmanned forces. The agreement, which was signed by the president of the WB Group, Piotr Wojciechowski, and the deputy head of Poland's armament agency, Colonel Piotr Paluch, is currently a framework agreement rather than an official purchase. However, it signifies something important, as noted by Poland's Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of National Defense, Władysław Kosiniak-Kamysz. The large contract for the dronization of the Polish army is becoming a fact, blared the Polish Deputy PM, in addition to suggesting that more deals like this one will be coming very soon. The deal is impressive beyond the number of drones Poland is set to receive. Kosiniak-Kamysz says that it's the result of a lot of hard work by Poland's new Unmanned Weapon Systems Inspectorate, which was only created 5 months ago to lead the Polish military into a future where drones will be more important to warfare than ever before. Here's what's known about what's coming. The drones provided by WB Group are used in any situation that's deemed hot by the Polish military. In other words, they're specifically designed as military drones, rather than being civilian drones adapted for wartime purposes. Poland also views the deal as an opportunity to gather valuable experience in the operation of drones, which it intends to spread throughout its military. From a single soldier to the operational level, drones are going to become the thread that binds every aspect of the Polish military. WB Group head Wojciechowski also claims that Poland's new drones are ideal for multi-domain activities, which sees cooperation between land, sea and air drones for combined operations against an enemy. And more is coming from Poland. Brigadier General Mirosław Bodnar, who heads Poland's new Unmanned Weapons Division, says that it recently carried out a demonstration of the capabilities of 40 Polish companies. All are focused on fielding unmanned systems, meaning Poland is looking to sign further tenders and agreements for drones and microsystems to boost its military. The goal, says Bodnar, is to purchase enough drones to cover practically all of the 202,100 active personnel in the Polish military. Plus, Bodnar believes there is potential for Poland to create a unit of civilian drone operators that could incorporate a further 300,000 people capable of making use of the coming influx of unmanned systems into the Polish army. The deal is also not the only one that the WB Group has formed in recent memory. On October 3rd, it was reported that South Korea had signed a contract with the company to purchase some of its Warmate 3 kamikaze drones as part of its own effort to strengthen its unmanned forces. That deal was much smaller. South Korea bought 10 sets of drones, amounting to a total of 200, that it intends to use both as trainers and in combat, should the need arise. That contract was worth about $10.85 million, according to Militani. Given that Poland has purchased 5 times the number of drones, safely assume that the more recent deal is worth somewhere in the region of $55 million. That demonstrates that Poland is getting very serious about its drones. And digging into what the Warmate has to offer showcases just how serious. It's believed that Poland is buying the same Warmate 3 drones that South Korea purchased in late 2024. WB Group has tweaked the Warmate drones, with the Warmate 3 being the culmination of the experience it gathered in developing and operating the previous two models. The drone is a short-range powerhouse. It has an operational range of 18.6 miles, though its connection to its operator can be maintained at a distance of up to 49.7 miles. Here, the immediate utility for the drone is clear. Poland has the ability to station its operators dozens of miles away from a conflict zone, from where they'll control their Warmate 3 drones to attack enemy troops. A Warmate 3 can stay in the skies for up to 70 minutes before needing to be recharged, which adds the possibility of extended search and strike operations. Plus, the drone is quiet. Militani says that a Warmate 3 generates very little noise, which is vital for a short-range drone intended to be capable of attacking troop deployments and mechanized units. Less noise means a lower chance of the drone being spotted, which increases the chances of mission success. There's also the warhead to consider. The Warmate 3 isn't the most powerful kamikaze drone on the market. It's capable of carrying an explosive weighing up to 6.6 pounds. Still, that's more than enough explosive force to disable armored vehicles and even tanks, assuming that Poland learns how to use the drones as efficiently as possible. More details about the Warmate series of drones come from the WB Group itself. It says that the system's maximum takeoff weight is about 12.5 pounds, suggesting that the drone itself weighs less than the bomb that can be packed into it. The Warmate 3 is also fast. Super fast. Its general operational speed is 49 miles per hour, meaning it can keep up with most tanks and armored vehicles at its basic cruising speed. When gearing up to attack, the drone accelerates to speeds close to 93 miles per hour. That's more bad news for an enemy. Even if they manage to spot the Warmate loitering in the skies, shooting it down is an incredibly difficult prospect. What chance does the average soldier have to hit a drone with a 5.2-foot wingspan barreling down toward them at nearly 100 miles per hour? Not much, and that's what Poland will be counting on. That's assuming an enemy even has a chance to see the Warmate 3 coming at all. It has a maximum ceiling of 9,842 feet. That, given its size, would make it little more than a speck to the naked human eye when at full elevation. Then there are the drone's special features to consider. As mentioned, it's quiet, though WB Group goes a step further to claim that the Warmate 3 offers totally silent propulsion. Operators also received rugged control stations that are built specifically to deal with the difficult conditions of a war zone. Warheads are interchangeable, giving Poland plenty of options when it comes to the types of explosives it packs into the drones, and operators get infrared vision that allows them to fly the drone day or night. The drone also comes with multiple flight modes, including a swarming capability. Don't underestimate how important that swarming can be. A team of several Polish drone operators could take advantage of this feature to overwhelm an enemy's defenses, using several Warmates as decoys to clear a path for drones carrying explosives to complete their missions. And speaking of missions, the Warmate 3 can be made flight ready in less than 5 minutes, offering a near instant response time to an enemy threat, and has a statistically confirmed circular probability error of just 4.9 feet. That makes the drones precise as well as dangerous. Now, beyond the swarming option, the Warmate 3 comes with 5 flight modes. They include an auto mode, via which the drone follows a pre-programmed flight plan that's ideal for reconnaissance. The operation can switch that to hold mode whenever needed, allowing the drone to hover over the ground and send real-time video footage of what it sees thanks to an inbuilt camera. The drone can also be instructed to fly directly to a specific point on a map via its Fly To mode. Cruise mode offers semi-manual control for the operator, with the drone staying at a specified altitude. Finally, there's Attack mode, the mode that initiates a strike and uses the Warmate 3's video tracker to ensure a precise hit against a target even if the operator loses control of the device. The ground control station also deserves further exploration. It combines a basic laptop with a control device that looks a lot like a video game control pad. The operator uses the laptop to see what the drone sees via its camera, with the pad allowing for instant control of the Warmate's flight path. Analog sticks and buttons are incorporated into the control pad, allowing for easy control and a user-friendly way for troops to direct their Warmates to where they need to go. Following the user-friendly route also means that Poland's growing teams of drone operators don't have to spend weeks learning how to use their new Warmate drones. The devices are as pick-up and play as possible, with the software installed into the ground control system also being simple to operate. All of this suggests that Poland has just signed a deal to buy 1,000 of the best short-range drones available in Europe today. Here's why that matters. For one thing, this purchase isn't some off-the-cuff acquisition Poland is making because it's panicking about the increasing use of drones in the Ukraine crisis. Rather, it's part of a wider effort to incorporate drones into the Polish military, with those drones intended to deliver a warning to Vladimir Putin. Poland sees how Russia is using drones in Ukraine, and it will be ready to deal with them if Russia invades. Poland has learned a lot of lessons from Ukraine's approach to its war with Russia, specifically when it comes to unmanned vehicles. That's clear from Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of National Defense Władysław Kosiniak-Kamysz's comment about drone acquisition of the Polish military. Poland leads the way in Europe, outside of Ukraine, in these efforts. That's according to Army Recognition, which says that the country's government has made a firm commitment to evolving its military in line where the future warfare seems to be taking us. There will be no safe Poland without an army of drones, those that fly, those that move on water, underwater and land, said Kosiniak-Kamysz during an April visit to the 1st Warsaw Armoured Brigade. In all domains, in all units, every soldier of the Polish army will have contact with drones. This is our ambition. This is our goal. That ambition will take a while to realise, as the 10-year delivery cycle for the 1000 Warmate 3 suggests. But Poland clearly isn't looking to create a ramshackle drone division here. It's integrating, building drones up to become a vital component of its entire military force that expands on the country's already impressive capabilities with modern weapons that merge seamlessly into its joint operations. Kosiniak-Kamysz is also aware of the ever-changing nature of drones. When discussing the previously mentioned meeting with 40 of Poland's companies, he pointed out that drones change constantly. That's been evident during just 3 years of war in Ukraine, where drones have evolved from being predominantly short-range vehicles used for reconnaissance and the occasional attack to devices that can be used in every facet of the war. To stay up to date, you cannot buy many drones for the so-called reserve. That's another message to Putin. Poland isn't going to buy a ton of drones quickly before leaving them to rot away in storage units. It's buying in bulk, sure, but it's also buying across its entire military and will continue to make purchases in the future. Poland's goal is clearly to have the most effective drone army in Europe, with new technologies being incorporated as they arise. It's going to spend big to make sure that happens. There are already signs of that from the increasing Polish military budget. In 2022, Poland spent 2.5% of its gross domestic product, or GDP, on its military. That was already 0.5% higher than the 2% of GDP NATO recommends. By 2025, Poland's spending rose to 4.7% of its GDP, with Poland also now mulling over the use of European Union recovery funds and other funding avenues that could allow it to plough even more money into developing its drone army. Poland's Minister of National Defense hinted at all of this when unveiling the Warmate 3 purchases. He said that Poland may redirect $6.87 billion from its National Reconstruction Program to further build up its defences. Another $31.7 billion to $33.82 billion may come from the European Union's or EU's Rearm Europe initiative. That program, which the EU announced in March, will see the bloc dedicate almost $900 billion to a multi-part framework designed to make Europe a greater military threat to its enemies. The word enemies here really means that Europe is trying to get stronger so it can fend off the expansionist ambitions of one Vladimir Putin. Under Rearm Europe, the EU intends to introduce the Security Action for Europe, or SAFE, instrument. Under SAFE, member states will be able to make large and urgent investments in their defense, backed by loans from the EU. Poland intends to take advantage of this new program. In doing so, it'll build its emerging drone army into a stronger force than ever. So this new drone purchase is a microcosm of a greater ambition within Poland to develop one of Europe's most powerful militaries. It's building a drone army that will evolve alongside unmanned vehicle technology. It's also investing more of its GDP into defence than ever before, and appears to be establishing itself as one of the frontrunners for new EU programs designed to bolster Europe's collective defence. And there's more. Poland is also trying to establish itself as a major arms exporter, as hinted by the sale of drones to South Korea by the same WB group that is now providing 1,000 Warmate 3s to Poland. Other hints of this desire to become an arms exporter come from Polish sales of weapons to Ukraine. In October 2024, Defense 24 reported that Poland delivered 18 of its Krab self-propelled howitzers to Ukraine in 2023 as part of a larger order of 54, with the rest arriving in 2024. In 2023, Poland also sold 49 of its Oncilla armoured vehicles, 22 120mm mortars, and several other weapons to Ukraine. These types of sales have a couple of clear purposes. First, they expand on Poland's burgeoning reputation as one of Europe's strongest military powers. Each sale is a confirmation that Poland's defense industry is developing weapons that other nations find useful, which serves as an indirect warning to Putin that Poland has weapons that can compete against anything Russia has to offer. Second, Poland generates money from these sales, and if Poland's growing defense budget offers any indication, there's an easy guess as to where that money will likely go, right back into building up the Polish military. Oh, and there's also the little issue of Poland attempting to go nuclear. It's not looking to build nuclear weapons itself. However, March 7 brought with it news that Polish Prime Minister Donald Tusk is talking seriously with France about being incorporated into the French nuclear umbrella. That may mean France could soon move some of its nuclear arsenal to Poland, placing these nukes in a nation that shares a border with the Russian enclave of Kaliningrad and is very close to what would be the front lines of a future war between Russia and Europe. That announcement came amidst Tusk also suggesting that he intends to boost Poland's standing military to 500,000 members. Now, there's one important thing to take away from all of this. Poland is getting stronger by the year. Buying 1,000 Warmate drones is part of a much larger plan to transform Poland into a powerful military nation capable of fighting across all fronts. It's spending big, it's creating an evolving drone army, and it's doing all of this while not ignoring more traditional showcases of force such as massive manpower advantages and even nuclear weapons. There's only one thing to conclude from this impressive build-up. Poland is making itself as much of a threat to Russia as it can because it's preparing for a war. That isn't conjecture either. Earlier in 2025, Tusk announced in Parliament that by the end of the year, we want to have a model ready so that every adult male in Poland is trained for war, and so that this reserve is adequate for possible threats. Again, what possible threats mean is obvious: Putin. Though this training will be voluntary, it's clear that a desire to prepare is mirrored in the Polish population. Politico spoke to a Polish media producer who gave the pseudonym Marek in the wake of Tusk's claims. "I really want to go through training, and if it comes to it, fueled by hatred for Putin, I want to defend my home, shoot at them, and make their lives hell," Marek claimed. He's far from unique in Poland. On May 3rd, the BBC published an article focusing on how everyday Polish people are preparing for a fight that many of them believe is inevitable. It focused on a weapons training program at a military training ground in Wrocław, where the BBC claims that men and women, parents and children, and even the elderly are showing up to learn how to shoot. There's a clear reason why, as the program's leader, Captain Adam Silecki, explains. "The times are dangerous now. We need to be ready. We have a military threat from Russia and we're preparing for this," says the captain. He also points out that his program is currently oversubscribed, suggesting that the average Polish citizen agrees with this assessment. All of this leads back to the new deal Poland just signed to buy 1,000 Warmate 3s. That deal is all about getting ready for Russia, which is why Putin is fuming. As Russia's leader digs his heels deeper into an attritional war against Ukraine that still isn't going the way he wanted, he's being forced to watch as one of his potential next targets prepares. If Putin wants to attack Poland after taking Ukraine, assuming he's even successful in that endeavour, then Poland will be ready. And now, Russia's forces face a horde of 1,000 of the most advanced kamikaze drones that Europe has to offer. But what do you think about Poland's purchase of 1,000 Warmate 3s, and how it ties into everything that Poland is doing to prepare for a fight with Russia. Should Putin be afraid? Do you see more massive Polish drone purchases on the horizon? Let us know your opinions in the comments, and remember to subscribe to The Military Show for more up-to-date news and information on the latest military developments in Europe and around the world.